Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the VictoryXR Academy tutorial series. Once again, my name is Danny Coyle, and today we're joined by Renee Gadella. She's the Chancellor of the Academy, and she's going to step in and be our surrogate student for this demonstration. So, so today, we're going to demonstrate a few of the Academy's great features. So I'm going to open up my menu here. I'm going to go to the user section, and you'll see that Renee, under the user section, I can control the various features that she has access to. And I can also just adjust those up here. So when I say create IFX, then it'll make it so all of the users in the session, of course there's only one in this session, I can choose whether or not she can create IFX, whether or not she can interact with shared IFX, you remember those from the previous tutorial, whether or not she can control the media screen up here, whether or not she can create recordings, and I can also choose to mute and unmute everybody in the session besides hosts, of course. Or I can just choose to manually adjust each of those things for individual students. So I'm going to demonstrate muting here. So Renee, just start rambling, and I'll demonstrate.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for having me as a part of your training today. This is really important stuff that we're teaching people, and I'm just going to keep talking
And there you go, she's muted. And she'll also get a notification that she has been muted. So there are two types of mute here. I'll go ahead and pop it up on screen once again. There's...
No, I'm back.
Yes. So this little window that popped up here, there's a checkbox that says allow user to unmute themselves. So if I hit that checkbox and hit yes, Renee is muted, and you'll see it's demonstrated, or it's indicated by a white X or cross through the mute icon. That means that Renee can unmute herself. So go ahead and unmute yourself there, Renee. There you go.
Thank you.
Now, let's say Renee is being a disruptive student. Go ahead and be disruptive.
Never. Oh my gosh, never. Call on me. Oh. Me.
Now you see that here on the menu, it's indicated by a gray microphone with a lock next to it, and there is a red mute icon here. So that indicates that the student is muted and they cannot unmute themselves until I unmute them myself. So now Renee's back.
Hello.
Excellent. Now, so that's all you need to know about muting and unmuting. There is a similar set of functions for seating. So, while Renee could seat herself, if I wanted to choose where particular students sit, I can choose Renee, I can hit the little options next to her right here, and I can choose to seat. So I'm going to click that, and I get a special teleport cursor. So I can point at any chair, seating user in 3, 2, 1, and there you go, there's Renee. And of course, since I sat the student, she's free to use her joystick or use her teleport cursor to move to another location and move herself if she likes. But let's say that I'm trying to teach a lesson up here, and one of my students decides to get up and they're constantly moving seats, or they're coming up to the front of the classroom and being disruptive. Yeah. Similar to microphone muting and locking that down, I can do the same with seat lock. You see the seat lock here. So I can choose to lock Renee to this seat here. And you see that she can't move out of it, she can't teleport out of it until I unlock her. Excellent.
Great.
Now, if there are certain student activities going on that involve building things using IFX, I just allowed Renee to create her own IFX, so she'll see that in her options there. So go ahead and build some things there, Renee, and I'll do the same.
Okay.
So I'm going to take our stomach, and I'm gonna blow it up a little bit. I'm gonna slap it on the table there. There we go. Renee's got a box. Great. Now, you'll see up here, I have a couple options. The first one is a rather useful one called Auto Share. If I hit that and I choose, say, the heart, as soon as it comes in, you see it's got its purple circle around it. So I didn't have to go in and hit share here. It just automatically shows up as shared, so Renee can interact with it. But if you want to choose to have more control, you can turn off auto share. I bring in the heart. It starts off as only belonging to me. Go into the options, hit share. Now it's purple. So there are two different ways to handle that. If you want to go for something a bit more seamless there, you can do it that way. Now, there are two trash cans up here. You can either delete your own IFX, so if you personally brought in a bunch of stuff and you want your stuff to go away, I can hit my IFX, pop, there goes my stomach. But as the host, I can choose to clear out everyone's IFX if I want to. I can either choose to clear out the shared IFX or other users' IFX. Oh, that one's shared. There you go. Great. Easy peasy. Now, up here on this top menu, returning back to the seating functionality, I can choose to seat all and seat lock all, and of course unlock all, and it shows you how many available seats there are in the classroom. I can do that. Now, of course, Renee's the only other person here, but it will automatically seat everyone into an available seat in the classroom, and it'll just choose randomly where to put people. So if you have 5 students, it'll place one maybe there, another one there, 3, 4, 5. And if you want to get more exact seating, you can just choose to pick and choose which seats students go to, and you can even lock them down there for a lecture. Great. There's one more classroom management feature that I'd like to demonstrate in a different location. So come on down, Renee. For this next demonstration, we're going to show off the summoning feature, and that'll take place on our giant island location. So we're going to head off to there. All right, there we go, everybody. So this is our island. This island is actually 1.3 real-world kilometers long, so it's a pretty big environment. And the reason I took us here is here on this island, my teleport cursor actually goes much, much further than in other locations. So I can travel large distances. There's Renee all the way over there. I can see her waving. So it's really easy for students to explore to explore the island and go long distances really quickly. So it's really easy for students to spread out and do a large group activity. But let's say that I want to bring the class all back to one single location. So here I am in kind of the snowy mountains area. If I want to bring my class here to see something, I can use the summon feature up here. And it gives me a special teleport cursor. And I'll just slap that on the ground there. 3, 2, 1. And no matter where Renee was, it'll snap her right here. And if we had more students, obviously, everybody would show up right here where I put the summoning circle. So that's really, really useful for going on kind of guided tours. So if we have particular things, say I took a snapshot, put one there, put one way over there, and I wanted to go to the top of this mountain up here, so I'm going to teleport all the way up here to the top of this mountain. Pop, summon, place, and the class follows. So the last feature that I'd like to demonstrate is the ability to ban disruptive users. Now this is a last resort sort of thing. This will remove a user from the session, and you can even keep them from coming back into the session. So if I go to the menu here on a particular user, I can say remove from session, which will kick them out of the session, but they could come back in. Then there's ban from session that will make it so they simply cannot rejoin. You're typically not going to need to use this in a typical classroom scenario, but if the session that you create isn't password protected, you don't set a password, you may have an instance where random users may just join in your classroom session midway through and be disruptive. They might not even be one of your students. That's why it's important to keep your sessions password protected. But in the event that you do have an unruly or undesired user, I can remove them. I'm not going to ban you, Renee. I'm just going to remove you. So I'm going to hit remove from session. I'm about to remove this user. That's their username, not their display name, but their username. They will be able to rejoin. And I'll hit confirm. And there she goes. But she'll be able to rejoin the session, and she'll rejoin here at the center bit here, at where we spawned in from. We'll see if she comes back in. There she is. She came back in. Great. So that's how to remove someone from a session. And that about covers everything for the classroom management tools. If you have any questions about any of these tools or the best scenarios in which to use them, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and we'll answer your questions. So we'll see you guys next time for the next part of our tutorial series. Bye, everybody.